Have you ever had an imaginary friend?
My baby dolls. I used to always wish they would come to life and talk to me.
I used to think mine came alive at night. But other than that, I think I tried to have an imaginary friend. It just didn't work. Sometimes I have a good imagination, but with stuff like that, like fake stuff, like when we did the Barbie movie and I said my friends played Barbie for all those hours, I was like, how many times can we make these dolls like
do stuff,
go to the disco and have sex and be in the jacuzzi and like, this is boring. Like, I was trying to work on my imagination.
You guys just couldn't get the friendship together.
Well, no, we're friends still, but it's just the Barbie part. I was like, okay. I can't do it. I got to go back to my remote control car. That's real. It's tangible. It's cool. It moves on its own. You know what I'm saying? I get to control it. I don't have to, like, imagine that it's moving down the thing. Anyway, I just got way off. We are reviewing IF, which stands for Imaginary Friend.
Imaginary Friend.
Yes.
Animated. Movie.
Well, partially. It's real life and partial animation.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And those are cool.
It is very cool.
So let's talk about who's in IF.
All right. So it's PG and it's 1 hour and 44 minutes long. Okay. It stars Kaylee Fleming as Bee. You'll recognize her from The Walking Dead. She plays Judith.
Oh, Judith!
She is a great actress. She was also in Peppermint.
That was her when she was smaller.
Yeah.
She's excellent in The Walking Dead. She is, and she's so adorable.
She is.
You just see her in there shooting zombies and using her stick. I'm like, go ahead, Judith. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I could see her being an actress for a long time, as long as
she's
wants.
Good. She's good.
Ryan Reynolds is Cal. Mm-hmm. John Krasinski plays the dad. He also wrote and directed this movie.
Okay, he's the guy from The Office, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. He's done a lot. He's done some action movies and stuff, and
he has.
He kind of got out of that mold that he was in from being on The Office. But yeah, he's pretty good.
He's written and directed a lot of movies. Even God dang it, I can't. The one where you had to be quiet. The one where you had.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Quiet Place.
The Quiet Place. And I just said it.
Yep.
And Quiet Place 2 is coming out later, and I can't wait to see it.
There's
not
3.
2.
I'm about to be like, no, this is going to be part 3.
It's the prequel, how it started. Sorry.
Yeah, because I've been waiting for that.
And I can't wait to see that. I've been waiting for that, too.
Gosh. And they're so good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fiona Shaw plays the grandmother. Phoebe Waller-Bridge plays, she voices Blossom. Mm-hmm. She's in Killing Eve and Solo, a Star Wars story. You'll recognize her from those. Okay. Steve Carell.
I love Steve Carell.
Voices Blue. And, he used to work with John Krasinski.
Yep, on the same show.
Yep.
I love his dry humor. It's just hilarious.
And this is the last movie of Louis Gossett Jr.
Aww.
He plays Louis. He passed away earlier this year on March 29th at 87 years old from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
And that was really just around the corner ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think this was his last. I said it's his last. I could be wrong.
The one he's voiceover on here. So
yes.
But I've seen him in something recently. I just can't remember what it is. He didn't have a huge role, but he's had a long, lengthy career.
Yes.
Enemy Mine was the movie he did.
Oh my gosh.
That movie grossed me out. It really did.
All right. Okay. So from writer and director John Krasinski, IF is about a girl who discovers that she can see everyone's imaginary friends and what she does with that superpower as she embarks on a magical adventure to reconnect forgotten IFs with their kids. This was executive produced by John Kelly, and he went to Glendale High School.
Are you serious?
As my friend Kristen would say, Glendale, you better be watching this too.
Did you just throw up signs?
Yeah, because that's what she did.
Oh my gosh. I have nothing to do with this person. If somebody's watching and they know, the throwing up signs and stuff like that, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's all on her.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So they went to high school together, and one night she's like, hey, do you want to go to this party at my friend John's house? He's an executive producer. He also executive produced Divergent, and he did...
and that movie was complicated.
Yeah, and he also did... Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I like that.
So we were at his house, his mini mansion or mansion.
Yeah,
it was
mansion,
nice.
period.
Yeah, overlooking the city. And I got to hold the props from Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer, the axe that was also shot. I have a picture of it, but I cannot find it. I searched for that for hours today.
You never told me.
Yes, girl.
How dare you tell
and the
social
map
media
from
before
there
you tell
and
me.
some other things, and he had like previews because he had to watch these movies before like the Oscars and the Golden Globes so he could vote on them and stuff. So they were watching Whiplash at the time.
You need to get in touch with whoever took you to his house so we can go. Make sure you call me next time.
Yeah, it was dope.
Wow.
So that's my little thing.
That's sweet. I'm jelly now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the extra scenes.
So there's extra scenes at the very end, and the credits run approximately 6 minutes.
That's not too bad. 6 minutes ain't too bad.
I thought this movie was pretty good. You know, at towards the end, my eyes were sweating a little bit.
You mean you wanted to cry?
I think it got a little hot in there. You know, a little.
You mean you were crying on the animated?
You know, sweating
movie.
From the eyeballs just a little bit.
So she cried on it.
Okay, I cried. Okay. I cried a little bit.
Just say it.
Lots of people. I'm seeing lots of reviews where people are talking about they cried. Okay, I'm human. I'm only human. I cried a little bit. It was touching. All right.
Okay. So you got some fun facts for us. It's okay if you cried during an animated movie. I mean, that's kind of pretty sad, but okay.
Other than my personal fun fact, director John Krasinski describes this movie as a live-action Pixar movie.
I can see that. I can see that
it too.
Yeah.
The movie on the TV that grandmother is watching is Harvey from 1950, about a man with an imaginary friend who is a 6-foot tall rabbit.
That sounds kind of scary. That sounds like Donnie Darko or some crazy stuff.
I know it does, doesn't it?
Hey, that's an idea for somebody to do.
I wonder if it freaked people out in 1950. Probably not. I don't know.
For a 6-foot tall rabbit? Yeah. I could see them making that super creepy. Because they used to make some weird looking, like, toys for kids. Like the Santa Clauses used to look scary as heck.
Oh my god!
You ever look and be like, no wonder the kid's screaming. He doesn't want to be on the lap of that whatever creature that is holding him.
I have pictures of my son like in the Easter Bunny's lap. Just,
that one too. They look creepy as heck. You're
like, get away! I didn't take him. His dad and his auntie took him, and I told them, I was like, I try to tell you, he does not like these characters and these people with masks and stuff like on. You know, he does not like fake things. Okay?
They're creepy. That's why he didn't like it.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Scar my baby for life.
Oh, that's funny.
Louis Gossett Jr.'s first film released after his death. So it wasn't his last film recorded.
The first one after his...
The movie is dedicated to him after the credits. I saw that too.
Sweet.
Because we stayed to the end.
That's sweet.
The film cast includes 5 Oscar winners.
Woo!
George Clooney, Matt Damon, Lou Gossett Jr., Brad Pitt, and Sam Rockwell.
Star-studded.
And 4 Oscar nominees. Emily Blunt, that's John Krasinski's wife, Steve Carell, Bradley Cooper, and Richard Jenkins.
That's a lot. I bet they paid out the wazoo for this one.
Yeah. And here's a slight spoiler, not a full spoiler. This is slight. Brad Pitt is credited as playing Keith. However, since Keith is an invisible character that has no line of dialogue, this is likely not a genuine credit, but a joke connecting this film to Deadpool 2 from 2018, which also starred Ryan Reynolds, and where Brad Pitt also played an invisible character.
That is just hilarious. That's just a great ongoing gag.
Yeah.
Over and over. Like I was in that movie too. Did you know I was in there?
I was in there too.
I bet. Yeah, we were in there. Why did we need to get our credits?
I was Keith's girlfriend.
For not being in a movie that we weren't ever asked to be in to begin with.
Right?
I was in the movie just so you know me and Jules were. So that's our credit now. Okay.
I really liked this. I thought it was really cute. There was times where it got a little convoluted, and even my movie partner was like, he was a little lost, and I almost had to explain to him, because they kind of blend the fantasy with reality, and then it blends so much sometimes and switches back and forth that we're like, wait, okay, is that part real? Is that? Yeah, and then, but I was holding on. But he, you know, if you don't pay attention or you go to the bathroom at the wrong time, you might be like, well, what?
So definitely not for little kids. They probably wouldn't get it very much.
It's supposed to be for little kids, and they'll get the basics of it.
Okay.
So.
And how many clappers would you give this?
I would give it 3, a solid 3, and mainly the 3 because it got a little extra parts, a little convoluted.
And we're not used to that when you're watching an animated series. Sometimes the movies happens, but for an animated series, to kind of have you thinking a little bit.
Right.
Now, IMDb gave this 6.7. And then Rotten Tomatoes, what is that, the critics?
Yeah, the critics gave it 48%.
Dang. And then the audience gave it 87. I wonder why it's so low on Tomato
Probably
meter.
because what I said. It got a little too much in some parts. If you were really like trying to be what do I want to say?
Make it a little different, or
no? If you were trying to really look at it as a serious movie or something like that, and not a kids movie, then you would be like, "There's so many holes in this, and how did that happen?
Like us.
How did we get there? Like, are they really there?" You know, I mean, I know it's about imaginary stuff,
right.
But even at the end, I'm like, okay, I know it's imaginary, and when there's a little twist at the end, which I figured out, but it's like, okay, if that's the case, then was she really in this spot, or was she like dreaming or sitting there in her apartment imagining?
I don't want to think about all that watching an animated movie.
And we don't know that because they never show like, oh, well, she was in her apartment imagining. She was just
hard to see.
Yeah,
hard to see.
It didn't really connect, but you remember that, and we kept saying, we even said out loud at one point. We looked at each other. This movie is for kids.
Remember,
this movie is for kids. This movie is for kids.
Before you start looking at plot holes and all that stuff, because we do that.
Take part of your brain out and just put it down to the side and just enjoy it for what it is.
Just remember,
it's for kids.
It's a cartoon. It's an animated movie.
It's not real life stuff. There's lots of fantasy. And when you see a s'more with the melting eye, that's in the commercial. You got to know what you're watching here.
So that's what you're giving it just a nice.
I'm giving it a nice 3.
A
nice 3. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have our review of If. Go ahead and take your kiddies out. Would you recommend they go matinee if they're taking the kids? Yeah, because if you got a lot of kids.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope you got popcorn rewards. If you got a lot of kids, you need to get.
Yep. Shout out Harkins.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to our review of If. Don't forget that Jules and I, we are on Cash App. Any donation is appreciated. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And remember, if you go on Instagram and our video is more than 15 minutes, they're going to cut us off, but that's okay. Just go to YouTube or on Facebook and you can watch the whole video.
Right.
Tell us what you want to see. Make some requests. It doesn't cost you anything. Just tell us what you want to see. We'll pull it up. We'll watch it, shout you out on the show, and review it. Okay?
It's free 99.
Free 99. There you go. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you back soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.